Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu einer weiteren Episode Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc 2. Ne, Moment, ist Goodbye Despair. Ah, ist egal. Auf jeden Fall, es ist einen Tag später, seitdem ich die letzten Episoden aufgenommen habe. Ja, ich habe die letzten Episoden alle bis heute an einem Tag aufgenommen. Ich habe echt 5 Stunden mich hingesetzt und gezockt. Pock. Und habt ihr auch schon alle gerendert. Okay, bis auf 2 Folgen, aber das ist eigentlich irrelevant. Die rendere ich dann irgendwann mal. Und ich würde sagen, gehen wir mal in Investigation. Also. Achso, der wird jetzt erstmal ein bisschen erklären. Vermutlich. Huh? Hey, what the heck is that monument? When did that get here? Never mind that. How did they make even a mountain shaped like Monokuma? That story might be true after all. There might be an enormous organization involved in all this. You mean what Byakuya said before, right? Byakuya, we still needed his knowledge. I still can't believe he's dead. Byakuya. What happened to Gundam and Fujihiko? Now that you mention it, it appears they aren't here yet. I know, they're probably run away. Oh, hell no. There's no way I would let them escape, you know? Look, I dragged this one back over here.
Don't fuck with me.
I'm telling you, let me go.
Hey.
Hey now, if you keep acting violent, I might just eat you up. Hey, for you, what were you doing all this time? Nothing, I wasn't really doing anything. I was just chilling in my room when I suddenly heard that fat bastard got killed. Who the fuck cares about that anyway? How can you say something so irresponsible? We have been doing our best to investigate this murder, even though you don't want to, just to survive. Mahiro, that's enough. You too, dumbass. And I guess we are waiting for Gundam?
What happened?
I'm right here.
Now then, let us begin.
A main character arrives when he intends to. Huh? It seems you noticed it too. If I did, then I'm alright. Alright now. Was hatte das für ein Kommentar? Let's take the secret entrance to the trial field. Please wait a second.
What's this?
My, Monomi. Just what are you doing here? Nobody asked for you. Do you actually want to join in?
Masochistic mascot.
Do you want to taste how powerless you are at the class trial? You are an even bigger mascot than I thought.
Special breeding service.
Oh well, I'm a big brother who dotes on his little sister. I shall allow your special participation.
See ya
I will go on ahead and wait for you guys, so hurry over. Okay.
Huh?
He told us to come, but how do we get there? I don't see any doors or vehicles.
What's going on?
He mentioned something about a secret entrance. Secret entrance? Ich vermute, es ist der Koch. Pock. Rar. What the... Something shaking. This is dangerous, everybody. Please. Something came out. Could it be he's telling us to enter it?
What?
Such a suspicious aura, even Crimson Steel Elephant Magazine is trembling with fear. That's totally suspicious. Forgive me, seriously, just forgive me already. Hey, why don't we just stop here? I mean, none of this is real anyway. Like, not even remotely.
No way.
There's just no way we'll find the killer, bro.
Stupid.
Complaining won't get us anywhere. If you really are a man, then man up for God's sake. We have come this far, we have no choice to keep moving forward. You're right, there's no answer for to run. We need to do it. If that's everyone's decision, I will just follow you guys.
Yep.
If this were a video game, I would have a very high difficulty level. Let's do our best to clear the game. Shaking with fear and nervousness, I hesitantly lifted my feet and stepped onto the escalator. I won't think anymore. If I think, I will run away. All I could do was stare upward intensely as the escalator carried me. Also, ich denke, es ist der Koch. Der Mord ist so abgelaufen. Der hat halt diesen Stab irgendwo aufbewahrt. Dann hat er die Eisen angemacht, um damit den Blackout zu erzeugen. Das muss ich noch klären. Ich glaube, die Swordswoman war auf der Toilette, weil die irgendwie Durchfall hatte oder so. Und diese Exit Doors. Die werden vermutlich unter das Ding gehen. Und der ist dann mit dem Laken unter Byakuya gegangen, hat ihn gekillt von unter dem Haus aus und hat das Laken dann wieder genommen, ist zurückgegangen, hat das eben in die Wäsche geschmissen. Also, ja, das wird sein. Und der ist auch zwischendurch immer verschwunden an der Stelle. Also, ja, ich denke, er ist es. This is an elevator. I see, the entire rock is an elevator. Once again, Monokuma is doing what he pleases. However, if he's gone this far and made something like this, I don't think he's playing right now. Or around. Even so, we are going pretty deep, you're right. I heard an everything shattering sound inside my head. I soon realized it was the sound of my teeth. All I could do was purse my lips tightly so everyone else couldn't hear it. There we were, listening to the unpleasant roars as the elevator plunged deeper and deeper into the earth. Some time passed before the elevator finally finished descending, and then the elevator door slowly opened.
Welcome!
This is the class trial field. How do you like it? It's a special place that will decide your fate. What the hell is he thinking? Locking us in a shitty looking place like this.
Fuck with me!
Complain all you like, I'm used to it by now. Come on, you're wasting your time and energy. Hurry up and take your seats where your names are written. It looks like everyone knows. Even if we try to resist, it won't change a thing. Just as Monokuma ordered, we walked toward the seats we had been assigned. From this point on, we need to find out who killed Byakuya. Und das Messer war eigentlich da oben dran. The ultimate affluent progeny. He was overly critical, arrogant and condescending. But he also had a strong sense of responsibility. As we were panicking, he accepted his role as a leader and tried his very best to keep us together. A guy like him got murdered. The person who did it is one of us. And can't believe it. There is no way I can't believe it. But if it's really true, we need to find out by any means possible, because that's our only option. There is no way for us to survive unless we sacrifice the killer. And so the life-threatening tribe, blowing with hope and despair, has begun. Would you like to save? Yes. So, Set Skills. Wir haben noch keine, oder? Ne. Oh, cool. Ich kann die Difficulty jetzt ändern.
Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial. During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it. If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment.
But if you pick the wrong one,
I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island.
Such a cruel rule.
Before we begin, I'd like to confirm one thing. Is there really a killer among us?
Most definitely. There's no doubt that the blackened is lurking among you. Such a sad state of affairs, isn't it? By the way, this class trial is gonna be 100% fair, so there's no need to worry. I'm the type who hates favoritism and prejudice. Well, not as much as I hate Monami, of course.
You hate me that much?
Now, let's begin.
Einerseits bin ich froh, dass es der Koch ist, muss ich sagen.
But what are we supposed to do?
No complaining, let's just settle this with our fists.
Were you even listening to the rules? Didn't that Byakuya bastard get killed in the
Aber
dining hall? Huh? Then everyone there is a fucking suspect.
Der Koch war mega unsympathisch. Ach ja, Pumuckl muss auch dann sterben. Pop.
No shit. You guys went off on your own and started killing each other. This has nothing to do with me.
Huh? What does that mean?
Anyway, why don't we try talking about the most pressing issue on our minds? Huh. The most pressing issue on our minds? Where we found the body. It's very strange to find a body underneath the table.
Then, let's start with that mystery.
The reason why Byakuya's body was cut on the dining table, we can start with that, but ultimately we need to find out who murdered him. If we can't do that, now thinking about if is a waste of time, we have to do this no matter what. So the class trial has finally started. You will provide some tutorials at every important moment, but I'm sorry, but please excuse my ear-tainting rudeness. As things progress during each class trial, you will engage a number of non-stop debates. Okay, das kennen wir alles schon. Oh, als ob direkt schon mehr.
Why was Byakuya's body in a place like that?
His body was underneath the table at the very back of the dining hall.
After the killer murdered Byakuya, they probably moved the body there.
Huh? Why? Obviously by hiding the body.
They tried to delay its discovery.
So, falls ihr das gerne noch nicht kennt,
Dog burying a bone.
ich muss hier meine Beweise nehmen und die gleich dann auf Argumente gehen. Und das haben wir gerade
Why was
gesehen.
Byakuya in a place like that?
His body was under the very back of the...
After the killer murdered Byakuya, they probably moved the body there.
Das ist falsch.
No, that's wrong.
Das C war mega komisch.
No, I don't think the killer moved the body. Huh? Why? Try to remember what the body looked like when we found it under the table. Though there was a lot of blood everywhere, there was no sign the killer actually dragged the body through it.
So that's why you think it's impossible that the killer moved the body.
I see. I get your point.
And here I thought I had a genius idea.
Too bad you're so stupid and boring and unpopular. Your life is meaningless.
I respond better to praise, you know.
But if the killer didn't move the body, why was it under the table?
Byakuya was probably killed under the table.
What? You think he was killed under the table?
So Byakuya snuck under the table for reasons unknown, and that's when he was killed. Then, shortly thereafter, we found his body under the table.
That does make sense, but why did he go under the table?
Um das Knife zu
Obviously, he
bekommen.
was hiding so he could surprise us. That dude was always a big jokester.
The hell he was? You seriously couldn't tell what kind of person he was? Maybe he panicked during the blackout and dove under the table.
It's a blackout, not an earthquake. Just because the power went out doesn't mean he'd dive under the table.
The reason why is probably connected to what Byakuya was doing during the party, don't you think?
The reason Byakuya dove under the table, if it's connected to Byakuya was doing during the party, then it's probably...
I can prove it with this. It probably has something to do with the knife we found under the table.
Knife?
Oh, you mean that thing that obviously screams, "I am the murder weapon"?
Ist es nicht.
Byakuya probably noticed the knife was hidden there, so in order to get it, he moved under the table.
He was particularly sensitive to the presence of dangerous items, so I cannot deny that possibility. But how did he notice that there was a knife under the table?
If he knew beforehand, he probably would have done something about it before the blackout, right? Then, instead of knowing about it beforehand, maybe he saw it right at that moment. Like, for example, he might have seen someone trying to take the knife out from under the table.
No, that's not possible.
What? You seem rather confident about that.
Of course. I have proof to back me up.
This is almost like a real trial!
During the previous statement there was only one weak spot, but from this point on there will be various... Ja, okay. Oder durch die Glitzersachen. Oh mein Gott!
I'm sure Byakuya ducked under the table during the blackout.
That sounds correct. If that's the case. During the blackout, Mr. Ham Hands must have seen the killer take the knife.
But it was super pitch black. It was so dark I couldn't see my food.
Byakuya couldn't see in the dark either.
No, that's wrong.
Das C spackt total. Das stimmt nicht.
No, Byakuya was probably the only one who was able to see in the dark.
Why do you say that?
He was using those night vision goggles we found under the table.
So, are you saying Byakuya was the one who used those night vision goggles?
Yeah, that seems to be the case.
Your reasoning is out of focus.
What the fuck?
No, that's obviously wrong. It should be the other way around.
Other way around?
Seriously? The killer used those night vision goggles, not Byakuya.
Were you surprised by Mahiro's sudden argument? Just between you and me, I was also surprised. Just kidding, I'm sorry. Now then, this is kind of argument surfaces. You will go into one-on-one debate called Rebuttal Showdown. In this mode you have to counter the other person's claim, draw out their weak spots and argue against them. Please counter to the other person's remarks with the left stick. Based on the shape of their remarks, it's important to know whether to cut vertically, sideways or diagonally. And based on that you can skew the debate's mood to your advantage. On the other hand, if you ignore the other person's remarks, you will skew towards their advantage. In the bottom right corner of your screen, a number that shows the sharpness of your counter is displayed. This is the number of times you can cut remarks during one round of the debate. You will lose counts of sharpness if you miss, so please be careful. When the mood skews to your advantage for a certain length of time, the other party's argument changes. This means the conversation will develop. If that happens, they will end up divulging some weak spots. However, you cannot normally cut remarks that contains weak spots. Instead, will skew the mood towards the other person's advantage because it's gonna be very big. Just like regular debates, please refute any weak spots with the Auto button, vermutlich Y. Of course, if you don't have the correct truth blade, you will not be able to... Okay, make sure change contacting... Okay, ich muss auch die richtige True Blade auswählen. Okay, well good then.
If you just use common sense. The killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
Okay.
If you just use common sense. The killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
I can't advance forward if I'm just listening. Should Mayura say what she says to say and then find a point?
If you
Okay.
just use common sense. The killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
Damn it!
If you
Okay.
just use common sense. The killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
Ah, okay, ich
If
verstehe.
you just use common sense. The killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
Hä?
If you just use common sense. The killer obviously used those night vision. That's gotta be it.
Hä?
If you just use common sense. The killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
Where's your proof that the killer used them?
Because if they used night vision goggles, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. And in reality, that's what happened. So those goggles were a plan if the killer brought them to the crime scene.
I found a hole in an argument. I'm sure Byakuya brought the night vision goggles. Need to refute claim.
Because if they used night vision goggles, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. I mean, in reality, so those goggles were a plan in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene.
Damn it!
Hä?
If you just use common sense.
Also,
The killer obviously used those night vision. That's gotta be it.
I can't back down!
What?
Where's your proof that the killer used them?
Because if they used night vision goggles, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. In reality, so those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene. Damn it! If you just use common sense,
ich versteh's noch nicht so ganz.
use those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it. If you just use common sense, the killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
Where's your proof that the killer used them?
Because if they used night vision, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. In reality, that's what happened. So those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene.
Hä?
Damn it! If you just use common sense, the killer obviously used those night vision goggles.
Nein.
Gotta be
I can't back down!
Okay, das ist... Okay, alles...
Where's your proof that the killer used them?
Because if they used night vision goggles, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. In reality, that's what happened. So those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene.
Ich check's, glaube ich, noch nicht so ganz. Also,
If you just use common, the killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
Where's your proof that the killer used them?
Because if they used night vision goggles, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. In reality, that's what... So those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene.
woher weiß ich, ob ich nach oben oder
If you
unten
just
drücken
used...
muss?
The killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
Can't tell them, I'm just listening.
If you just use common sense, the killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
Where's your proof that the killer used them?
Because if they used night vision goggles, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark.
Nein, das stimmt nicht.
In reality, that's what happened. So those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene. Because
Okay, ich verstehe.
They could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. In reality, so those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene.
Allow me to cut through those words!
Okay,
No, Byakuya was definitely the one who brought those night vision goggles.
komisch.
Definitely? But why?
Inside the Duralumin case Byakuya had with him during the party, we found a smaller case for storing the night vision goggles.
Ich dachte zuerst, ich muss jetzt
We
beweisen...
can assume that the night vision goggles were kept inside that Duralumin case as well. Woohoo! I said assume! Ibuki never uses such clever language.
Plus, Byakuya was the only one who could have taken the night vision goggles out of the case, since he was carrying it around before the blackout in the first place.
I see. When you put it like that, it makes sense.
Then, was that knife inside the case too? If there were night vision goggles inside, it wouldn't be weird for a knife to be in there too.
It would be weird.
I am weird, aren't I? At times like this, I'd rather be fantasizing about tonight's main dish.
Ooh, you totally mean that in a perverted way.
The knife was brought in the Duralumin case along with the night vision goggles too. No, that's not possible. The knife was hidden in the dining hall before the party even started, so it would prove it.
I see!
Wegen dem Duct Tape.
There was duct tape left under the table where the body was found. Huh? Duct tape? We probably hid the knife by duct taping it to the underside of the table.
Oh, so that's why we found duct tape there.
Though Byakuya was thorough, even he couldn't have noticed a weapon taped to the underside of the table.
This may be off topic, but why was Byakuya acting so paranoid? Not only did he bring a self-defense kit, but he had night vision goggles inside the case too.
That's true. He went above and beyond, being a little cautious.
Now that you mention it,
That applies to the dangerous items he confiscated as well. It's one thing to be a little cautious, but performing a body check is a bit much.
He probably knew. Someone was planning to commit a murder.
Are you saying he predicted the murder? Could it be? Was he also in possession of the all-seeing eye?
You think so too, right, Hajime?
Hajime, okay, alles klar, jetzt weiß ich auch mal die Scheiße. That's right, Byakuya probably knew. Wegen der embarrassing pose.
I can prove it with this. Everyone, can you please take a look at this?
Hey, the hell is this?
Hajime and I found this in Byakuya's cottage. It looks like a threatening letter someone sent to him.
So, who's the someone?
Nobody besides Monokuma would write such a dumb, threatening letter like that.
Wasn't me!
Are you sure?
The only lies I tell are friendly lies!
Those are still lies!
Doesn't matter who wrote it yet. So, Byakuya became paranoid because of this threatening letter?
He probably decided to throw a party because of the letter. What do you mean? By gathering everyone in one place. He tried to create a situation where everyone could keep tabs on each other. In doing so, he tried to put the writer of the letter in a situation where they couldn't act.
But the letter might have been just a little prank.
As long as he was determined not to let any of us die, he couldn't take that risk. His strong sense of responsibility made him believe the letter was legitimate.
He should have told us he received a threatening letter.
If he had, we would have panicked. Byakuya probably knew that too.
So, he tried to do something about it without telling anyone?
I see. A strong sense of responsibility as our leader was his undoing.
Screw that noise! Who the hell wrote that letter?
Well, obviously, the killer.
The killer. Yes. Is it really one of us? Who is it? Among us, who's the one who killed Byakuya?
Enough already! Show yourself, you coward!
If they were willing to come forward, they never would have committed a murder in the first place.
But still, I can't believe it. Someone in this room killed Byakuya. There's no way I can't believe that.
Pardon me. Can I say something?
What is it, Miss Sonia?
I regret that I must return to this topic, but I just realized something concerning the night vision goggles. If Byakuya was indeed wearing those goggles, how did the killer manage to navigate in the dark?
You're right. They wouldn't have been able to see anything without the night vision goggles. But if the murderer had the goggles when they took the knife, then how did Byakuya see them?
Even if the knife bore some sort of mark, it would have been difficult to see it in that darkness.
Not the killer definitely used the mark. And because of this mark, the killer was able to get the knife from mit dem glowing paint, genau.
See! What if the glowing paint was the mark? With that, you'd be able to get the knife even in the dark. In actuality, the knife we found under the table and the duct tape stuck to the underside of the table were both marked with glowing paint, right?
Does that mean the killer painted them in advance? But painting them with glowing paint? It's as if they knew the blackout was going to happen. They had to have already known. That's why they used the glowing paint as a mark. Which means whoever set up the blackout is the killer.
That seals it. The killer is whoever was in the office with the circuit breaker. Which means it was you, Peko Pekoyama!
Peko killed poor Byakuya? Was this island not big enough for two glasses wearers?
I'm not the killer.
Oh, I guess she's not.
How can you believe her so easily?
But with Peko's height, I don't think she'd be able to reach the circuit breaker in the office.
I don't care about a technicality like that. Peko's the one who tripped the breaker and caused the blackout.
By tripping the breaker directly from the OS, Peko was the one who caused the blackout. Is that really what happened? No. After the debate, blue-colored weak spots will start appearing. Okay. Das kennen wir ja schon. Oh nein, Accounts.
Since Peko was in the office, she could have caused the blackout at any time.
That's impossible.
Huh? Why is it impossible?
Because I was not in the office. Not even before the blackout.
What happened to your guard duty?
Sorry.
Oh, you weren't in the office? That's clearly a desperate excuse.
Just from listening to Pekka's testimony, it's not weird to doubt her, but I feel like I spoke to someone during the investigation who totally backs up. Okay. Ah, okay. Ich muss das jetzt bestätigen, okay. Wer ist wer? Oh nein, ich muss wissen, wer ist. Okay, wer kann das bestätigen? Das, und da Kazuicho kann das bestätigen.
That's impossible.
Huh? Why is it impossible?
Because I was not in the office.
Wer ist Teru? Achso.
Not even before the blackout.
Oh.
Since Pekka was in the office, she could have caused the blackout at any time.
Ich dachte, er hat es bestätigt. Wer ist Nekomaru?
She could have caused the blackout at any time.
That's impossible.
Huh? Why is it
Because I was not even before the blackout.
I agree with that.
No, I think Pekka is telling the truth.
Don't tell me you're crushing on Pekko.
Nein.
It's nothing like that at all. Nekomaru's account is actually Pekko's alibi.
Ah. This one at all.
It's true. Someone was occupying the bathroom for a long time shortly after the party started, and it was finally freed up after Byakuya's body was discovered.
Then the person who was in the bathroom that whole time was actually...
Everyone else besides Pekka was in
Oh, ich
the
weiß nicht, dass das
dining
Game
hall
schon
after the
mich so
party
weit denken lässt.
I see. So there's no way anybody else could have locked themselves in the bathroom except Pekko.
I guess that would be true.
You locked yourself in the commode? You should have said so earlier.
There's no way she'd actually say that. Gosh, you're so insensitive.
If she locked herself in the bathroom for that long, there's no doubt. It's shit. Oh, there's no way she'd admit it. There's no way she'd admit she was taking a shit.
Hey, weren't you guys taught any basic manners, or were you raised in a locker room?
Boys or Girls Locker Room? Frag mal Chi. Jetzt zweieinhalb.
How about we stop talking about this and move on to something else?
Don't worry, the smell wasn't that strong. I used the bathroom right after you, so you can trust me.
I said it's fine.
But still, you were in the bathroom for a really long time. Did you get food poisoning or something?
As soon as I stepped into the office, I felt this sudden rush of pain in my stomach. Because of that, I was unable to leave the bathroom, including when the blackout occurred.
Hey, how did it feel to do your business in the dark? Did you get excited?
Seriously, stop it.
But still, your stomach pain. Was that really just a coincidence?
Hey, what's the deal? Don't butt into other people's business, especially if you didn't do any investigating.
I'm only butting in because you fucking idiots are out of your element.
Stop this childish nonsense. Just what do you mean by coincidence?
Ja, sie hat bestimmt irgendwas gefressen oder so von dem Koch oder so. Leute, wenn es euch gefallen hat, lasst gerne eine positive Wertung. Wir sehen uns in der nächsten Episode. Bis dann. Tschüss.